Have you ever stood up from your favorite chair and felt a strange hesitation in your legs? Not pain exactly, but just a kind of slowness, as if your body wasn't quite ready to move. Or maybe you've noticed it takes a little more effort to climb the stairs lately. You tell yourself it's nothing. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe the weather is changing. But deep down, something feels different. These little moments are easy to ignore. They come quietly, without alarms. But for many adults over 60, they are the first subtle signs of something called muscle decline. It doesn't arrive like a thunderstorm. It arrives like a whisper, a slower walk, a firmer grip needed on the railing, an oof when bending to pick something up. And here's the thing, this slow fading of strength isn't just about getting older. It's about what we don't do as we age. Science has shown that after the age of 30, we lose up to 5% of our muscle mass every 10 years. After 60, that rate can double. That means less strength, slower balance, more stiffness, and greater risk of falls. But even more than that, it means less independence. Think about it. Our muscles are what let us rise from a chair, carry groceries, play with grandchildren, or walk to the mailbox. When those muscles fade, life shrinks a little. It becomes narrower, heavier. But here's the hopeful part: you can protect your strength. You can even rebuild what's been lost. Not with intense gym workouts or complicated routines, but with a few simple nutrients, some everyday foods, and smart habits anyone can do. In today's video, we're going to explore exactly how you can give your body what it needs to stay strong, stable, and active for years to come. These are science-backed, senior-friendly strategies you can start using this week. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments, what's one small change you've noticed in your strength or energy? After turning 60, I'd love to hear your experience. Hi, I'm Dr. William Hart, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. For over 30 years, I've worked with seniors across the country, from small towns in Iowa to retirement communities in Florida, helping them stay strong, independent, and full of life. And one thing I've learned is this: it's never too late to make a difference in your health. This channel, Golden Health, isn't about chasing youth. It's about understanding your body and giving it what it truly needs as you age with kindness, not pressure. Every video we create is based on real science, everyday experiences, and simple actions that can truly work. So, make yourself comfortable. If you're new here, feel free to say hi in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. We're building a supportive community of seniors who believe in aging with strength, clarity, and confidence. Let's do this together. Let's talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention: the quiet loss of muscle as we age. It starts slowly. You might not notice it at first. But science has a name for it: sarcopenia, and it's more common than most people realize. After the age of 30, our bodies begin to lose muscle mass at a rate of up to 5% every decade. That may not sound like much until you reach 60. At that point, the loss can accelerate to as much as 1% every year, especially if we're not doing the right things to support our muscles. And the impact goes far beyond physical appearance. Muscle isn't just about looking strong, it's about being able to do the everyday things that make life full, like standing up without using your arms, carrying a bag of groceries, walking to your mailbox without needing a break, playing with your grandkids without getting winded. That's what real strength means after 60. It's the quiet confidence that your body will carry you where you need to go. And here's the part many people don't realize: when your muscles shrink, your balance suffers, your bones become more vulnerable, and even your brain health can take a hit. That's because muscle is deeply connected to your nervous system, your metabolism, and even your immune system. So if you've been feeling more tired after normal activities, or needing to steady yourself a bit more than usual, it's not in your head, and it's not just aging, it's biology. But it's also something you can do something about. Your muscles are like a retirement fund. The more you invest in them wisely and consistently, the more you'll have to rely on when it counts. The good news: there are specific nutrients that act like muscle deposits, and we're going to cover those in just a moment. So now that you understand what's happening beneath the surface, let's explore how to feed your body exactly what it needs to stay strong, independent, and in motion. George had always been steady on his feet. At 72, the retired postman from Bloomington, Indiana, still prided himself on walking to the local store each morning and tending his backyard tomatoes in the afternoon, but over the last few months, things started to shift. He began needing both hands to push himself up from the recliner. When he stepped off the curb, he felt a subtle wobble. It wasn't dramatic, but it was enough to make him pause. Once or twice, he even caught himself hesitating before taking a step, just to make sure his legs would hold steady. At first, George blamed it on aging, maybe a bad night's sleep, maybe cold weather. But deep down, he knew something was off. His daughter, a physical therapist, suggested he visit his doctor not for a diagnosis, but to run some basic tests. The results surprised him. George wasn't dealing with a disease. He was dealing with nutrient deficiencies, specifically in vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and magnesium. His doctor explained it this way: "Your body isn't broken, George, it's just underpowered." And that was the turning point. George began a simple routine, a high-quality D3 plus K2 supplement each morning with breakfast, and magnesium glycinate before bed. Within 4 weeks, he noticed something strange. He wasn't thinking about his balance anymore. Standing up was easier. The slight tension in his calves was gone. He felt stable again, not like a younger man, but like himself. So what made the difference? Vitamin D3, often called the sunshine vitamin, plays a crucial role in maintaining muscle fibers related to strength and balance, especially those that deteriorate fastest with age. It also supports neuromuscular coordination, the connection between your brain and your muscles. Without enough D3, this connection weakens, reflexes slow, and balance suffers. This is why older adults with low vitamin D levels are more likely to fall or struggle with posture. Vitamin K2 works hand in hand with D3. While D3 helps your body absorb calcium, K2 tells calcium where to go. Think of it like this: calcium is the bricks. D3 delivers them to the site, but K2 is the foreman directing them to your bones, not your arteries or joints. Without K2, calcium can build up in places it shouldn't, like your blood vessels, leading to stiffness, higher blood pressure, and even joint pain. Finally, there's magnesium, the unsung hero of muscle and nerve health. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation, prevents cramping, and boosts the effectiveness of vitamin D3. It also plays a critical role in stabilizing blood sugar, supporting better sleep, and reducing nighttime muscle twitching, something many seniors experience but rarely connect to magnesium deficiency. What's even more powerful is how these three nutrients work together. D3 helps absorb calcium, K2 directs it, and magnesium helps both function optimally while supporting muscle tone and relaxation. It's not about taking everything under the sun, it's about combining the right basics to rebuild what time tries to take away. So, how do you get started? D3 plus K2. Take 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day. Paired with 90 to 180 mcg of vitamin K2, look for the MK7 form, which stays in the body longer. Take them together with your largest meal of the day, preferably one that contains healthy fat, like eggs with avocado or salmon with olive oil. This helps your body absorb both nutrients efficiently. Magnesium. Take 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate or citrate in the evening, about an hour before bed. These forms are gentle on the stomach and highly absorbable. Magnesium supports not only muscle health, but also sleep quality, and stress reduction, key factors in overall physical stability. Food options. For D3 wild-caught salmon, egg yolks, mushrooms exposed to sunlight. For K2 aged cheeses like Gouda or Emmental, natto if you can handle it, egg yolks from pasture-raised hens. For magnesium, pumpkin seeds, spinach, almonds, black beans, and dark chocolate. Important notes. If you take blood thinners like warfarin, speak to your doctor before starting K2. If you have kidney issues, magnesium supplements may require monitoring. If you're rarely in the sun, especially during winter months, D3 becomes even more essential. This isn't about overhauling your life. It's about laying a strong foundation. When you get your balance back physically and biologically, everything changes. You walk with more confidence. You sleep better. You trust your body again. So if you're wondering where to start here. These 3 nutrients form the core of strength and stability in aging bodies. Comment strong below if this feels like the group you want to begin with. You don't have to do everything at once, just one right step at a time, and this group might be your best first step. Maria, a 69-year-old retired librarian from Albuquerque, New Mexico, had always carried herself with quiet energy. She enjoyed her weekly volunteer shifts at the local library, spent Sundays baking for her church group, and never missed a morning walk through the neighborhood. But after being prescribed a statin for her high cholesterol, things began to change. It wasn't anything dramatic at first, just a deeper sense of tiredness that lingered throughout the day. Her legs felt heavier. She found herself pausing at the top of the stairs, not because she was out of breath, but because her body simply needed a moment to catch up. She started skipping her walks, saying she was just a little worn out, but the truth was, she didn't feel like herself anymore. Her daughter, a nurse, urged her to look deeper. Maria's doctor reviewed her medications, asked about her diet, and ran a few simple tests. The results pointed to something often overlooked in seniors' low levels of vitamin B12 and coenzyme Q10, along with depleted stores of creatine. These 3 compounds are vital for producing and maintaining energy in the body, especially after 60. Maria's new routine was simple: 500 mcg of vitamin B12 in the morning, 100 mg of ubiquinol-form CoQ10 with breakfast, and a small scoop of creatine monohydrate blended into her afternoon smoothie. Within just 3 weeks, Maria started feeling more like herself. Her thoughts cleared, her legs felt lighter. She returned to her daily walks, and even found herself humming while folding laundry, something she hadn't done in months. The science behind this trio is compelling. Vitamin B12 plays a key role in producing red blood cells, which transport oxygen to muscles and the brain. Without enough B12, people often experience fatigue, muscle weakness, and mental fog, common symptoms that are frequently mistaken for just aging. B12 absorption also declines naturally with age, and even more so in people taking certain medications like metformin or acid reducers. Then there's CoQ10, a natural antioxidant compound your body makes to fuel mitochondria, the tiny engines inside your cells. When CoQ10 runs low, your muscles, heart, and brain all lose power. And for seniors on statins, CoQ10 depletion is a well-documented side effect that can lead to muscle pain, weakness, and even memory issues. The solution: supplementing with ubiquinol, the most bioavailable form of CoQ10, has been shown to improve walking speed and energy and focus in older adults. Finally, there's creatine, not just for athletes, but essential for muscle performance at any age. Creatine stores phosphate in your muscles to quickly regenerate ATP, your body's primary energy molecule. It improves muscle strength, coordination, and recovery even without exercise. And research is increasingly showing that Creatine can also support cognitive function, making it one of the most effective and well-studied supplements for older adults. So how should seniors take this energy-building trio? Start the morning with 250-500 mcg of methylcobalamin, B12 and 100-200 milliliters of ubiquinol form CoQ10 taken with food. In the afternoon, stir 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate into water, juice, or a smoothie. No need to load or cycle it like bodybuilders. For those who prefer food-based sources, B12 can be found in eggs, liver, and fortified cereals, CoQ10 in sardines, beef, and spinach, though often in small amounts, and creatine in red meat and fish. However, food sources alone rarely deliver enough of these nutrients to reverse a deficiency, so targeted supplementation is typically necessary. If you're vegan, vegetarian, or on long-term medications, this group of nutrients may be even more critical for you. For safety, speak with your doctor before starting creatine if you have kidney disease, and monitor CoQ10 closely if you're on blood pressure medications, as it may amplify their effects. The real beauty of this group lies in how it supports both the body and the mind, restoring not only physical energy, but also the mental clarity and emotional motivation that helps seniors stay active and independent. Maria's story is just one of many. She didn't need a drastic lifestyle overhaul, just the right support in the right places. If you've been feeling worn out despite good rest, or if you're on a statin and noticing a decline in strength or focus, consider starting with this group. Comment energy below if this is where you'll begin. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from the smallest steps, and this could be yours. Harold, a 75-year-old retired mechanic from Missoula, Montana, had always prided himself on being strong and capable. He could fix anything: engines, fences, even the old toaster his wife refused to throw away. But recently, he'd noticed something that bothered him more than any creaky joint or backache. After spending just 15 minutes working on his garden or tightening bolts on his porch railing, his muscles ached for hours. The pain wasn't sharp, but it lingered like a bruise he couldn't quite shake. His hands felt stiff in the morning, and he needed longer breaks between tasks. What used to take him an hour now took the better part of the afternoon. Frustrated, he chalked it up to age, but his wife, always the observant one, thought there might be more to it. They visited a local clinic, and the physician mentioned a term that Harold had never heard before: chronic low-grade inflammation. It wasn't the kind of inflammation you see or feel during an injury. It was silent, slow-moving, and common in aging bodies. And over time, it didn't just affect joints, it eroded muscle tissue, damaged blood vessels, and exhausted the immune system. Fortunately, the doctor didn't recommend more painkillers. Instead, he suggested Harold try a nutritional approach: increase intake of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, and vitamin B6, a combination designed not just to treat pain, but to target the root cause of it. The results were gradual but remarkable. Within 4 weeks of making small changes, adding more fatty fish, berries, nuts, and supplements to his diet, Harold noticed his hands were less stiff in the morning. He could kneel to pull weeds without needing an hour-long recovery. And perhaps most importantly, he felt like his old self again, steady, capable, and in control of his body. There is good science behind why this worked. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish like salmon and sardines, are powerful anti-inflammatory agents. They help calm the immune response that causes unnecessary swelling in joints and muscles. Research has shown that omega-3s can reduce the muscle damage caused by physical activity, improve recovery time, and even preserve lean muscle mass in older adults. The two key forms, EPA and DHA, are most effective when consumed through fatty fish or high-quality fish oil supplements with third-party purity testing. Then there's vitamin C, often thought of as an immune booster, but also critical for muscle repair. It supports collagen synthesis, which helps maintain connective tissue in joints and muscles. In a study of older adults, those with higher vitamin C levels had up to 5% more skeletal muscle mass than those with lower levels. C also reduces oxidative stress, a major factor in age-related cellular damage. It's found in bell peppers, citrus fruits, strawberries, and broccoli foods that are easy to add to any daily meal. Vitamin E, another antioxidant powerhouse, protects muscle membranes from oxidative damage and supports healthy circulation. Poor blood flow means fewer nutrients reach muscle tissue, slowing down healing and increasing stiffness. Vitamin E also aids in skin health and wound healing, important for seniors with slower recovery times. It can be found in almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, and fortified cereals. For many, a supplement may be the most reliable way to reach therapeutic levels. Zinc plays a critical role in tissue regeneration, immune response, and hormone balance. It helps your body repair after micro-tears caused by movement or exercise, and is essential for producing enzymes that control inflammation. Zinc also supports taste and appetite, two things that often decline in older adults. Oysters are among the richest sources of zinc, but it's also present in pumpkin seeds, legumes, beef, and shellfish. Lastly, vitamin B6 helps regulate inflammation by controlling levels of homocysteine, an amino acid linked to heart disease and tissue breakdown when elevated. B6 also supports neurotransmitter production, which influences mood, motivation, and energy, often overlooked but critical for maintaining an active lifestyle. Chicken, bananas, potatoes, and fortified cereals are all good sources. However, absorption tends to drop with age, so seniors may benefit from low-dose B-complex supplementation. Taken together, this group of nutrients works to calm the body from the inside out, reducing silent inflammation, protecting cells, and accelerating tissue repair. It's not about treating symptoms as they arise. It's about building a body more resistant to wear and tear, more capable of bouncing back, and more in tune with its natural rhythms. For seniors who feel sore too often, recover too slowly, or suspect that something's off even without a clear diagnosis, this group is a smart starting point. Start simple. Add 2 servings of oily fish each week, a handful of berries and nuts each day, and consider a high-quality supplement that includes omega-3s, vitamin C and E, zinc, and B6. You don't need mega doses, just consistent, thoughtful support. If you're taking immune-suppressing medications, blood thinners, or managing autoimmune conditions, talk with your doctor first. Some nutrients, like vitamin E and fish oil, can mildly thin the blood or interact with medication doses. Still, for many older adults like Harold, this combination of nutrients is a safe and powerful way to reduce muscle pain, protect against age-related breakdown, and feel more energized from head to toe. Comment cool below if you've ever heard of silent inflammation before, or if you suspect it's something affecting you or someone you love. You might be surprised by how much better you feel just by calming the storm you never knew was there. Before you rush to the supplement aisle or change your entire routine, let's talk about safety and personalization. Because while the nutrients we've covered today, whether for strength, energy, or inflammation, are incredibly powerful, they're not one-size-fits-all. Your body is unique. Your medications, your health conditions, your lifestyle, they all matter when deciding what to introduce and how. For instance, if you're currently taking statins, starting with CoQ10 can be a smart, doctor-approved move, but you'll want to make sure you're using the ubiquinol form and starting with a moderate dose. If you're on blood thinners like warfarin, you'll need to be cautious with vitamin K2 and high-dose vitamin E, since these can affect how your blood clots. And if you have kidney disease or issues with electrolyte balance, certain forms of magnesium or creatine may not be suitable without supervision. That said, for the vast majority of healthy older adults, these nutrients are not only safe, they're essential. The key is to start slow and simple. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick the group that matches your most pressing goal. Is it better balance? Try D3, K2, and magnesium. Feeling foggy or weak? Begin with B12, CoQ10 and creatine, dealing with sore muscles and slow recovery. Start with the anti-inflammatory group. Introduce just one group at a time and give your body 2 weeks to adjust. Notice how you feel. Are you sleeping better, walking steadier, thinking more clearly? That's your sign that it's working. If you notice any new discomfort or side effects, press pause and talk to your doctor. This isn't about chasing quick results. It's about creating a steady rhythm your body can trust. You don't need to take 10 pills a day or overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just one right step, consistently done, can change your trajectory. And from there, you can add or adjust with more confidence. Comment SAFE below if you'd like our printable Safe Start checklist, a simple guide to help you begin this journey with clarity and peace of mind. Because your health plan should fit you, not the other way around. You don't need clinical trials to feel that something's working. Sometimes, the most powerful proof comes from people just like you. People like George, who once hesitated when stepping off a curb, but now walks with confidence after adding D3, K2, and magnesium to his daily routine. It wasn't dramatic, but it was steady, and in his own words, I stopped fearing my own legs. Or Maria, who spent weeks wondering why she felt so foggy and drained until she learned how statins were quietly depleting her CoQ10 and B12. A few small adjustments, a scoop of creatine in her smoothie, and her energy returned, not in a burst, but in a calm, reliable way that made her feel like herself again. And then there's Harold. He didn't want to complain about the soreness that crept in after gardening, but when he finally tried adding omega-3s, vitamin C, and zinc, the change was undeniable. It's not that I feel younger, he told me. It's that I feel capable again. These are real stories from real people in small towns across the country. They didn't go to extremes. They didn't buy dozens of supplements or follow complicated protocols. They just listened to their bodies, made a small shift, and stayed consistent. So, if you're wondering whether this approach really works, ask yourself, are you willing to give your body what it's quietly asking for? You've made it to the end of this journey, and now it's your turn to begin your own. Today, you've learned that muscle loss isn't just a symptom of aging. It's a process that can be slowed, supported, and in many cases, even reversed. You've discovered that strength doesn't come from willpower alone. It comes from nutrients like vitamin D3, magnesium, CoQ10, and omega-3s. It comes from consistency, awareness, and choosing foods and habits that restore rather than deplete you. You don't need a complete overhaul. You don't need to chase youth. What you need is to honor the body you've built and give it what it needs to keep going. So let me ask you this. Which group spoke to you the most today? Was it the one for strength and balance, energy and recovery? Or the group that helps calm inflammation and support healing from the inside? Comment below and tell me where you're starting. Then, hit the subscribe button if you want more small, science-backed shifts that fit naturally into your life. And don't miss our next video. It's about 3 surprising foods you can eat before bed that help your muscles rebuild while you sleep better than any protein shake. Because aging doesn't mean fading. It just means fueling differently. And you, my friend, are just getting started.